Stop. Whatever you're doing right now, stop. Close the tab. Put the phone down. I need 2 minutes of your complete, undivided attention because what I'm about to tell you could be the single most important thing you hear this entire year. If your life has been feeling like it's unraveling, like something invisible is pulling the thread out from beneath everything you've worked for, I need you to hear this right now. It is not depression. It is not failure. It is not a sign that you were never meant for more. That crushing pressure on your chest every morning, that hollow ache that lives behind your ribs all day, that strange, restless exhaustion that won't let you sleep. None of it is random. Not a single second of it. You were selected. You are under pressure on purpose. And on March 5th, you are about to find out exactly why. The people around you seem completely fine. They're scrolling, laughing, talking about nothing, living as though the world is stable and predictable and safe. And you're sitting there wondering what is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. Everything is right. The pressure you feel is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are one of the very few people on this planet currently being prepared, not broken, prepared. Let me show you exactly what's happening. Picture a military submarine, built from the strongest steel alloys known to humanity, tested in dry dock, passed every inspection, perfect on paper. Now watch it descend. 100 feet, 300, 600 meters down. The pressure of the ocean above becomes incomprehensible. Tons of force pressing against every inch of the hull from every direction simultaneously. If that submarine has even one invisible crack, one hairline fracture no inspection ever caught, it implodes. Not slowly, instantly. The pressure finds the crack, forces itself in, and destroys the entire structure in under a second. But if the submarine is truly solid, it doesn't just survive the pressure, it uses it. The deeper it goes, the more powerful it becomes, because its structure was built to handle what most things cannot. That is exactly what is happening to you right now. The energy building toward March 5th is the deep ocean. You are the submarine. The universe is not drowning you. It is running a structural diagnostic on your entire life. Your relationships, your career, your habits, your beliefs, your identity, and asking one brutal, non-negotiable question: where are the cracks? Is your relationship built on real love or on fear of being alone? Is your career something that genuinely lights you up, or a gilded cage you climbed into because it felt safe? Are your daily habits actually building the person you want to become, or slowly burying them? March 5th doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't negotiate. It presses on every surface and finds every weak point, and it forces those weak points open. That's why your relationship suddenly feels tense without obvious reason. That's why projects are stalling, friendships are fading, and your body is sending distress signals even on calm days. This is not bad luck. This is a structural audit, and you should be grateful, because the cracks showing up now are the same ones that would have destroyed you later at a far higher cost, with far less warning. Right now, under this specific alignment peaking on March 5th, humanity is splitting into two camps, two completely different trajectories, and which one you end up in will be determined entirely by what you do in the next 7 days. Camp 1, the passive mass. They feel the pressure too, but they're treating it as noise to be silenced. More screen time, more alcohol, more distraction, more numbing. When things get uncomfortable, they reach for whatever quiets the feeling fastest, not whatever resolves it deepest. They're drifting through this transit like paper boats in a storm, completely at the mercy of a current they refuse to acknowledge. March 5th will hit them like a wall they never saw coming, and they'll spend months wondering why everything collapsed, blaming external forces, blaming timing, blaming everyone except the one variable they could have controlled: themselves. Camp 2, the architects. These are the people who feel the pressure and choose to pay attention, not with panic, with open eyes, straight spine, and a willingness to look honestly at what the pressure is revealing. They understand that discomfort is data. They understand that what is falling apart for a reason. They understand that the most dangerous thing they can do right now is hold tighter to what is already broken. You clicked on this. Something in you knew you needed to hear this right now. That doesn't happen by accident. You are wired differently. You are built for depth. And the fact that you feel the pressure more intensely than the people around you is not a curse. It is confirmation. The lion doesn't hunt in a pack. The eagle doesn't roost with pigeons. The isolation you're feeling right now, that sense of being out of sync, of feeling deeply while others seem to skim the surface, that is not rejection. That is selection. You are in the operating room. You are on the table. The surgery is happening. And the anesthesia, the thing that makes it bearable, is understanding what it's for. Let's be clear about what's actually happening on March 5th. This is not horoscope fluff. This is not lucky colors or unlucky Tuesdays. This is about the mechanics of energy and timing. The energy of this transit is Plutonian. And here's what you need to understand about Pluto. It's not just the god of the underworld. In every mythology where this archetype appears, the ruler of the underworld is also the guardian of all wealth buried beneath the surface. Gold is underground. Oil is underground. Diamonds are underground. The most precious things on this planet are not sitting on top of it in plain sight. They are buried. They require effort, endurance, and sometimes destruction to reach. Plutonian energy works the same way. It does not reward the surface level. It strips away the cosmetic layers. It forces you into contact with what is actually real. What is there when the performance is over, and it's just you, alone, with the truth? This is why vision boards don't work right now. This is why positive affirmations feel hollow. The energy of this moment is not asking what you want. It is asking what you are willing to face. The question March 5th is holding over your life, like a spotlight, is this: what is already dead inside you that you refuse to bury? The relationship you already know is over, but you're still in. The career path you know doesn't fit, but you've invested too much time to leave. The version of yourself you've been performing, that smiles on cue, shrinks when challenged, apologizes for existing, that you already know is not you. March 5th does not allow you to keep the dead thing in the house. It is not a punishment. It is a surgical mercy. And there is one more thing happening right now that you need to know. The delay between action and consequence has collapsed to zero. Lie on Monday. It catches you by Wednesday. Show up with real integrity Tuesday. A door opens by Thursday. This is the physics of this moment, which means everything you do between now and March 5th echoes louder and lands harder than anything you've done in recent memory. This is not the time for half measures. The ring of fire surrounding this March 5th eclipse is not there to illuminate you. It is there to cauterize you. In surgery, when a wound won't stop bleeding, when the tissue is too damaged to heal on its own, surgeons apply extreme heat directly to the wound, not to hurt the patient, because the heat seals the blood vessels instantly. It stops the hemorrhage. It closes the wound in a way nothing else can. That is what this transit is doing to you. You have been bleeding for months, maybe years, bleeding your life force, your energy, attention, time, love, potential, into situations that will never return what you put in, into relationships that are fundamentally one-directional, into ambitions you no longer actually believe in, into a version of yourself you've outgrown but haven't yet allowed yourself to shed. The fire of March 5th is going to close those wounds, and yes, it is going to hurt. But the alternative, letting the hemorrhage continue, watching yourself drain month after month into things that have no future, is so much more devastating than the brief, sharp pain of the burn. I received a message from someone. let's call him Marcus, who wrote, "I feel like I'm walking through a corridor that's completely on fire. Everything I touch either burns me or crumbles. My relationship of 4 years ended last week. 2 close friends have gone quiet. A business deal I'd been building for months just fell apart. And the strangest thing, underneath all of it, I feel this quiet, strange peace. Like something in me knows this is right. Is that insane?" Marcus, no. That is the most lucid thing you've probably felt in years. That peace beneath the chaos is not denial. It is recognition. It is the part of you that always knew the truth finally getting to exhale. Because the illusions are gone. What remains is real. Fire doesn't only destroy, fire purifies. What is burning right now in your life is not your future, it is your past. Let it burn. Let me reframe, in real time, the things that have been making you feel like you're losing. Because the story you've been telling yourself about what's happening is probably wrong. And the wrong story is making everything 10 times harder than it needs to be. You're losing friends. That feels like rejection, like something is wrong with you. Reality. You're not losing friends. You're losing connections that were never built on solid enough ground to survive the version of you that's emerging. The people meant to be in your next chapter are not the same people who were meant to be in your last one. Evolution requires release. The relationships dissolving now dissolved because they served their purpose. They got you here. They cannot get you there. Your projects are stalling. It feels like the universe is ignoring you. Reality. The universe is not ignoring you. It is redirecting you. When a door won't open no matter how hard you knock, sometimes it's not your door. The energy you're pouring into a project that won't move is urgently needed somewhere else. Somewhere that will move, will convert, will compound in ways this project never could. The stall is not a stop, it is a reroute. Your body is exhausted. You feel like you're getting sick with nothing clinically wrong. Reality. Your body is not betraying you. It is processing transformation at a cellular level. The nervous system actually reorganizes itself during periods of significant psychological change. The fatigue is not weakness. It is the biological cost of a major renovation. Your system is being rebuilt from the inside. Of course it's consuming energy. Everything worth building does. You feel completely isolated, like no one around you understands what you're going through. Reality. The isolation of transformation is not loneliness. It is a cocoon. The butterfly does not transform in a social gathering. It transforms alone, sealed off from the world it left behind. The isolation is the process. It is not a symptom of something wrong. It is the prerequisite of something becoming extraordinary. Enough philosophy. Let's get tactical. Here is your complete battle plan for the 7 days surrounding March 5th. Not suggestions, a protocol. Because when the ground is shaking, the worst thing you can do is improvise. Think of yourself as a lightning rod. This eclipse generates an extraordinary volume of chaotic energy. Most people will get struck by it. Exhaustion, emotional spirals, relationship explosions, health crashes. You are going to ground that energy and channel it. The same force that devastates the unprepared will catapult the ready. In the 48 hours surrounding March 5th, no major decisions, no impulsive messages, no reactive conversations. Your nervous system is operating under conditions it has never experienced. Decisions made in those 48 hours without this grounding protocol will be driven by chaos, not clarity. But radio silence also means turning off the noise completely. No endless scrolling, no news cycle, no other people's drama flooding your system. Your internal antenna is being recalibrated right now. It's receiving a new signal, your new direction, your new mission, your new frequency. Fill every second with external noise and you will miss the download. Sit in the silence, walk without headphones, eat without screens. Let the thoughts come without immediately reaching for your phone to escape them. The thoughts that surface in silence during this transit are not random. They are the most important intelligence your system will generate all year. Listen to them. Before March 5th arrives, sit down alone with no distractions and write a completely honest list of everything you are currently tolerating that you know in your gut is poisoning you, not the things that are hard. Hard is growth. I mean the things that are corrosive, the things that make you smaller every time you engage with them, the things you would not choose if you were making the decision from a place of full strength and clarity. Write everything. The relationship where you've become someone you don't recognize. The job where you've been undervalued so long you've started to believe you deserve it. The habit that steals your best energy before you even get out of bed. Then ask yourself for each item, what would I do if I were not afraid? Because the answer that comes before your rational mind can talk you out of it. That is what March 5th is asking you to do. The rule: if it's a maybe, it's a no. Delete the number, send the letter, close the tab, make the call. The void that follows is not a punishment. It's a magnet. You cannot receive what's coming while your hands are still full of what's leaving. When the ground shakes, you cannot rely on how you feel to keep you moving. Motivation is an emotion, and your emotions are about to ride a magnitude 8 roller coaster. You need mechanical discipline. The kind of structure that runs on autopilot regardless of how you feel, because you built it deliberately before the storm arrived. Same wake time every morning, no exceptions. Real food, not products engineered to hijack your dopamine. Move your body every single day. Protect your sleep like sacred territory. This is not glamorous advice, but this mechanical foundation is what separates the people who come out of this period stronger from the people who come out of it broken. Be a soldier, not a poet. Poets romanticize the storm. Soldiers navigate it. Here's what is waiting for you on the other side of March 5th, not as a promise, but as a description of what becomes available when you navigate this the right way. The smoke clears, the dust settles, and you feel something you may not have felt in a very long time. Clarity. Not the manufactured kind from a self-help book. Real, structural clarity, the kind that comes from having seen the truth of your own life without the filters, and having chosen to face it anyway. The connections that survived this transit survived because they are real, built on something that holds under pressure, and they will feel deeper, truer, more nourishing than ever. Because you'll know, not theoretically but experientially, that they can handle what life actually looks like. Your direction will sharpen. The fog that made the future feel blurry is a direct product of the unresolved things you've been carrying. Release the dead weight, and the path forward becomes visible in a way it couldn't be when your energy was tied up maintaining the past. And most importantly, you will stop performing. The version of you that apologized for existing, that made herself smaller so others could feel comfortable, that swallowed truth to keep the peace, she is going to step aside. In her place, something quieter and infinitely more powerful will emerge. Someone who knows what she knows, who doesn't need to convince anyone, who can hold her truth without weaponizing it and without abandoning it. The world doesn't need more nice, lost people. The world needs people who went through the actual fire and came back with the map. You are that person. You are in the process of becoming that person. Right now. In this strange, uncomfortable, disorienting, beautiful, necessary moment. March 5th is not a date on a calendar. It is a door, and you are standing in front of it. So raise your head, straighten your spine, dry your eyes if you need to, and then keep them open. This is not the end of your story. This is the starting pistol of your real life. Subscribe, hit the bell, join the battalion, because the next video is the reconstruction plan, and you do not want to miss it. The war is declared. Win it.